Sonny Hostin on The View admitted, whether accidentally or otherwise, that she committed voter fraud. Now, this is one person. I'm not saying it swung an election or anything like that. And maybe if you'd like to make an excuse for her as to what she meant, feel free to do so. But we had this this viral clip where she's on her phone, and Whoopi Goldberg, she's like, "Get off your phone, heavens," or whatever. And then Sonny's like, "It was my son. He was messaging me to make sure, that his absentee ballot that I did that." And then it's a weird thing to say that I did that. Like, well, hold on, what does that refer to? And then she said, "I had trouble voting for him today." Full stop. She said she did vote for him. That is admitting to voter fraud. Now, immediately, left personalities came out and started saying, she means that she dropped off his ballot for him. It's like, sure, okay, I get that. Where's her son at? Where's her son that she had his ballot and he couldn't drop it off? Well, apparently, it was reported that her son was in Massachusetts while she was in New York. So why did the ballot go to the house in New York? You would have to believe that the son ordered an absentee ballot, not to where he is in Massachusetts, which is what absentee is for, but to his own home in New York, where he could have just voted in person. But maybe he did it because he knew he wasn't going to be there on election day, but was going to be there. You have to believe then that he ordered it, went to visit his family, filled everything out, signed it, dated everything, sealed it up, closed it, put it down, then left, then called his mom and said, "Hey, can you drop my ballot off for me?" You'd have to assume that he didn't just drop it in a mailbox, as per what absentee ballots are for. He didn't just take it with him back home to mail, that he literally went home, filled it out, dropped it, left. I think the simple answer, Occam's razor, is that she committed voter fraud. I don't think mail-in voting is overtly about voter fraud. I'm not saying that either. The reason mail-in voting the reason Democrats did so well right now, nothing to do with Trump. They're saying Trump dragged the party. No, establishment Republicans were pulling funding from key races. Everybody knows that. And the bigger issue is Democrat turnout was very good. Youth turnout was very good. And it's this simple. Suburban mom goes to her kids and she says, "Kids, our ballots came, fill them out." And the kids say, "Sure, whatever, I guess. Who am I voting for?" And just fill it out for the Democrats. And then they do. Those are real ballots filled out by real people. Those kids normally would not have voted. They don't know. They don't care. It has nothing to do with them. But their mom asked them to. Now, the steel man argument from the Democrats, of course, is, so what? Real people voted. What's your point? My point is, people who don't care about the system are voting, and that's bad for the system in the long run. You can argue that it's good because your policies are winning, but gas prices through the roof, inflation through the roof, people are not doing well, and it's because we have voters who have no stake in the system and don't care, and are only voting because it's just you're tripping over ballots. It's that simple. Plus, real quick, in I think 39 states, ballot harvesting is legal. So now you have Democrat nonprofits legally going to places where people normally don't vote and saying, "Fill it out and I'll take it from you." And that's massively increasing voter turnout.
Well, if you're looking at the Democratic base this midterm election, there was a lot of unmarried women that heavily voted Democratic. There was also a lot of 18 to 20-year-olds that voted in favor of the Democrats. Over 70% of them voted for Democrats. I think a lot of this also has to do with big tech censorship and institutions like TikTok banning right-wingers and conservatives and allowing other people to have those kind of voices there. And when you have those key demographics voting, obviously they're going to be voting in favor of policies that benefit them.
But I also want to point this out because for those that are fans of the show, I pointed this out 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. If a Democrat nonprofit goes to New York City, universal mail-in voting is everywhere. They walk into one tall 30, 40-story building. They knock on a door, no answer. They spin around, another door, knock, someone answers. Within the span of a couple minutes, they could talk to dozens of people. Within the span of an hour, they've talked to hundreds. These are legitimate votes, and it's a legitimate practice. But universal mail-in voting disproportionately benefits dense urban populations. If a Republican wants to go door to door, they're mostly in rural areas. You'd have to get in your car, drive to a house, knock on the door, no one answers, get in your car, drive to the next house. That took 5 minutes. Democrats, knock on a door, no answer, walk 10 feet, knock on a door, no answer, walk 10 feet, knock on a door. So long as we play this game of let's make it easier for everyone to vote, the procedure outright favors Democrat strongholds. Now, DeSantis, I think, has proven if you play the game right, if you've got good policy, you can still win if you win the cities. So perhaps we should either do away with universal mail-in voting, because I certainly think that's a big problem. Not because I think people shouldn't be voting. I think it's a problem for a system when people who don't want to vote just vote because. Like, people have to know what they're choosing to do it. You have a right to own a gun doesn't mean every person should just own a gun. I think most people should own a gun. But just because you have the right to do it doesn't mean you can be just irresponsible with it.
Yeah. We're in a situation. I mean, look, we've got. I think that the election system in America is systematically flawed. The radical thing that I've suggested over and over again is legally we should just wipe the ballots, the voter rolls clear. Let everybody, just like your passport's expired, it's time to go back and re-register. Let's see if you're alive. Let's see if you're legal. Let's see if you live where you say you live. Let's go back there and see who's actually there.
You should have to register every election.
I think you should, actually, and you should go back in there and you say, okay. I mean, people do that. They renew their driver's license. They renew their passports. They do all these things. I think that you should have a voting day, an election day, not an election season.
You should register for every election by going and it can. I don't care if it's online, quick 30-second thing to be like, this is my current address, and if you don't vote.
Yeah.
Like so back in the day, we had voting where it was like you had to be a landowner, right, and you had to be a man. Okay, so we don't agree with those things today. But you need to understand the context back in the day. The man thing, obviously we've done away with all that stuff. Men and women can both go vote, 19th Amendment. But the reason it was land-based was because we didn't have a DMV. You didn't go get an ID.
Right.
How did we know you actually lived there? Oh, you live in this house.
You own that parcel.
So you live here.
Yeah.
When we started moving into the space of rentals and, tenants, non-ownership, we're like, okay, well, these people, they do live here. We know they live here. They can vote. So, because we're a community. What ends up happening is you had Andrew Yang say he was going to move to Georgia back in 2020 to help. Who was it who was running?
It was Abrams who was running against.
He wanted to move to Georgia to help the Democrats win.
Warnock was running.
Warnock.
Yeah, Warnock.
So Andrew Yang is like, I'm going to move down there. And it's like, so hold on. You're not a member of our community. You're not voting for us for what makes our lives better. You're voting for the nation by moving into our space. Yo, that's crazy. That shouldn't be that way. Now, however, you're allowed to move. I get it. That being said, I think it would make sense if you were, after every election, there's no such thing as a voter roll. You're not registered anymore. When election season comes, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, whatever, can do a reminder being like, time to register to vote. And then you say, yes, I live here. I want to vote this place. They say, you got it. We've tracked your address. Then when you show up, you present proof that's who you are and where you live. And you say, that's me. And they go, send in your vote.
Yeah. And it was Ossoff, not Warnock. It was Ossoff. He was going over there to help. You got 10 million people watching this thing. I got to correct that. Because I'm the one that's wrong.
If the Republicans really do, if they're good for anything, they'll... What was it? The HB? What it's like. Unfortunately, all the voter they try to do. I can't talk anymore. You finish. I tell you, I'm like Biden. I need someone to finish my sentences for me. I look at you.
Don't look at me.
I'm just as good as Fetterman and Biden. I'm over here stumbling over my words. Just what am I saying?
Hey, look.
It's a weird telekinesis we have going on.
I agree with Michael Malice. I don't know his full position on Fetterman, but I think Fetterman in the Senate is a gift. Is a big, big gift. Hear me, people. If the Republicans had the Senate, it would be better. Rand Paul would be chair of the Health Committee or whatever. I forgot the full name. And that means he's going to be able to, ask some serious questions about Fauci and all that stuff. He's done it already. But what could they really do? There's a chance the Republicans will take the Senate with the Georgia runoff. We'll see. But with Fetterman in, this means the real prize, 2024. It's Fetterman's an advantage.
Yeah.
Think about all of the videos that are going to come out, all of the memes, and it's sad, really. I mean, I don't like it that Biden is out of his mind, that Fetterman is brain damaged. These people shouldn't have run, but you know what they did? So now the Democrats are going to get to withstand. They're going to have to figure out how to get past 2 years of John Fetterman not understanding words. You see the video where he said he celebrated the death of Roe v. Wade?
Yeah.
He's not with it. And they got it. Congratulations. They're going to have to hide this man.
Hey, I've been calling for him to run for president of the United States. We have Biden, we might as well have Fetterman. And MSNBC is joining my calls, officially saying, hey, Fetterman could potentially be president. Unironically.
No,
yes. What?
Where?
I
tweeted it?
I believe I tweeted it on my Twitter page, Luke We Are Change, and it was MSNBC. It was the video that I started off my YouTube. I played it on my YouTube video today as well. It should be on my Twitter. But the memes, they are very spicy already. I like to post spicy memes, but some of the Fetterman memes are even too spicy for me, to be honest. Watch this video. You got to listen to this video by MSNBC because they're supporting what I put out there a couple weeks ago.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.